my name's Peter Moore. So NASA invited us, I work for the Army, and they invited us to show our remote control airplane. We test that here at the local airport.
How does this work?
So it's kind of like one of those airplanes. It's a radio remote control, and it has a camera on board at the bottom. So it flies out to wherever somebody wants it to go, and the camera looks at things and provides that information back to whoever wants to see it.
Why is it so big?
Well, it's got to carry fuel because we want it to be up in the air for 9 hours. And it's about 400 pounds. So we end up having to get the wings and everything to lift 400 pounds and keep it up in the air for about 9 hours. So it has to be this big. Or maybe someday, like in those little airplanes, when those cameras get smaller and smaller, a plane can get smaller. Up in front, that's a little tube. It's called a pitot tube. And when you pull the flag off, when it's flying, it measures the air pressure so we know how fast we're flying. And there's a little computer on board that makes all these calculations.
How high can it go?
It can go as high as 15,000 feet, but the camera doesn't work that high. It normally flies around 8,000 feet.
Why is the tail and that triangle at the back?
So there's a lot of different ways to design an aircraft. So in this case, the engine's in the way of putting a traditional tail on board. So these two booms come out, and this tail has movable surfaces, and it helps control it in flight. So when it goes up, air will hit it, and it'll cause the airplane to move. And these move as well, and help control the airplane by changing how the air flows over the wing.
Why are there metal things on the back of the wings?
So these are antennas. There's a little radio on board in here, and then one of the things it does is when it flies, it's able to retransmit a radio signal. So if somebody's out of radio contact, as long as this is flying up ahead, they can take a radio signal and rebroadcast it.
Why are there these lights on it?
Well, because the rules are that if you're flying, you have to have lights flashing in the air so other airplanes can see you. That way, if they see you, they can stay away and we won't have a mid-air collision.
What's this up here?
So that's an antenna, and it gets signals from a control station, and it sends those signals to an onboard computer, and the airplane knows what it needs to do based on the pilot who's on the ground.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.